This is a part two to the video I just made. I guess part two, or I guess now part three. And then even more showing the disrespect or the sense of slavery still. They have now implemented the draft. Like my other video I made, any black that fight a war for America, man, you get a traitor's death. But now, they didn't sign the bill for the draft. And like I said, it's ironic because they told all this LGBT shit. And as I stated, they already, Dr. King and the civil rights movement, as Dr. Umar said, trying to hijack your shit, already guaranteed that race and sex and I guess sexual preference is already covered. And that's all the Supreme Court did back in 2020 was confirmed that it does apply to them. But even now, like I say, the thing they fighting for. So now, all the things they've been fighting for is now been thrown out the window. But look, now that you've been trying to get up out of here and having that destroy you and take the front seat, you even got blacks fighting for that shit. Like, I get that's your sexual preference, but like Dr. Umar so be able to say, when have LGBT got lynched for being LGBT, harassed for being LGBT, blackballed for being LGBT, etc., thrown in jail for being LGBT? That's why I said in my other video, fuck the ABC groups. Get anybody that's fucking riding with them. Ain't nobody ever touched them or worry about them. They just want some girl shit, making something about themselves. They ain't go through a quarter of anything that blacks have gone through ever in this country. If they all right, well, take the civil rights movement. See, and on top of it, don't even matter because Dr. King already guaranteed that they not going to be bothered. So like the black men, if they see so legislation, if you already got protection, ain't nothing you can do to change somebody's mind that's a hateful bitch that won't step to you, gonna keep fighting you behind the dirt like a little coward. You can't change that mind. Just get some balls and say fuck. See, that's the problem with LGBT. They're not even in the same battle. They on some emotional bitch shit about sexual preference, in which they're not really being harassed. If they're gonna be harassed, they're gonna harass you anyway. We talking about your hue and just being harassed. Yeah, the LGBT, they even say that shit when they talking about the act of trying to fight against pedophilia and child sexual. They talk about LGBT are being attacked just as much as blacks. Like, wait a minute. No, you're not. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like too many dudes trying to act as though they really go through. They get like one little punch in the mouth, and they think as though they going through a fucking genocide as the black man and shit. Ain't nobody worried about you if they are. It ain't to that level. You ain't getting nothing. Talking about when they go to jail, we get persecuted. What the fuck? Did you ever get hung in jail even though you was innocent? Or purposely blackballed because, or as the bullet said, even if you can't support, or the new Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, even if you can't afford, a lot of the LGBT are little preppy, get money white kids or privileged kids. So you ever go to jail for or pleading guilty to a crime because you can afford a lawyer? No, that's more the poor hue. But right there, they talking about, oh, we suffer just as much as you. Like, whoa, yeah, hold up now. So even even the black LGBT, but they scared to say something though, because they know the motherfuckers gonna be fucking on their top like a bunch of emotional bitches. But they now, oh, that's what I said. Anybody that fight for them, they now just signed the bill to send you to war. So they don't want you like the Vietnam War, the Civil War, probably one of the world wars, if not both. So and now the Afghanistan war. So like everything else, they want you to fight for them, but they don't want to give you equal rights. See, Babylon is truly a devil, man. Now they signed a bill in the act that if you as a black man don't want to fight for them, you're going to go to jail like Muhammad Ali. See, like back in the 60s, they oppressing you and was oppressing the shit out of you, but yet the greatest boxer, at least at that time, was put in jail for not fighting for America. Meanwhile, you had the 60s that was currently happening. Now they trying to do the same old tricks. As Dredd said, we ain't falling for that. Exactly. If you try to draft, as a black man in America, if you try to draft me while going to war, you're going to get another war. Because first of all, I ain't fighting for a country that's racist as shit and oppressing me. If you try to put me in jail or my kids in jail, I'm going to put a slug in your head. Yeah, go ahead and bust a move, bitch. I'm not fighting for a country that still till this day oppresses the shit out of me like the 60s. And if you try to put me and my kids in jail, you going to have to bring a whole fucking army. Oh, my bad. You going to be at, what the Bible say? While those who they oppress, shall suddenly oppress them and rise up and get a hold. That's why it says in Kemet, even the book of Jasher, it says, let's work them and then pay them for a while, but then suddenly not pay them. If they don't do it, we'll make their kids do it. All type of nasty. I gotta find you on the book of Jasher, I believe it is. If not Jubilees, showing how how the Pharaoh dealt with you. That's how America deals with you. And slowly we say we will keep them from their wives, that they won't be able to reproduce, and we will slowly and surely burn them out for being a race. So they don't want to give you equal rights, like in the 60s, like before many times, but yet want you to go to war and fight for a country that even up until that war, as you clearly see, Dr. Richie Rashad still treating you like shit and now pushing you out. And now saying, oh, well, if you don't want to be here, well, that's why you owe me reparations. Say, I don't want to be here. My other video, not bound by shackles, but bound by poverty. That's why he just said the immigrants now taking more of the black position. You don't want to be here. Yeah, I don't want to be here. They gave my money for reparations. Or at least at the very minimum, get up my leg so I can make my own money. Stop harassing me with your cops. See, the oppressor's mind, you can't see. That's why you got. So I told you, it's like old Yeller. Best thing you could do is take it behind the barn and put a slug in his back of the head, because you can't reason with this animal. This is de-evolution. Like I said, at least when it comes to the European, the fucking 15,000 to 13,000 BC was considered a utopia for those living in the Greenlands, but yet those behind the glaciers were de-evolved because they didn't have the flourishingness, so it became a more animalistic mentality. And now they come out with all this bullshit about it. And you look at them, you be like, yo, this motherfucker is not intelligent, is not on my level, etc. They like, yo, get out of here. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. First of all, if I build a house and you don't pay me, the house still mine. So you get the fuck out. On top of that, you were the last one to come here, according to history. They came before Columbus. Like I said, if Columbus was trying to prove the earth was flat, he would have went straight out and came back around. He wouldn't have went to a specific destination. So that shows the Moors guided them and all this shit. But they're sitting here talking about, you don't like it, you get out of here, all this shit. I'm like, I didn't come here by choice. I'm being held here in shackles, and you were the last one to come. So it was all this coonery, and all those who fucking was oppressed by them are now fighting against you for some reason. But like I said, they're now realizing that they can't force you to fight. So now they just signed the bill, and now they about to do it for the females of the draft. So now they're talking about, you, I don't like you, want to be here, but you going to fight this war for me. Like, what the fuck? See, crazy mind. But then you going to try to force somebody to fight if a war breaks out in the same hue. And like I said, I'll go to war. They gonna have like a bunch of fucking bombings inside the barracks. And you ain't gonna have no casualties on their enemy on my side. You're gonna have a lot of casualties of American soldiers if I go to war. So you damn sure don't want to draft me. You damn sure don't want to draft me, boy, because you're my enemy. Like the Vietnam War, like the Afghani War, World War, whatever. They did do something to me, still do something to me, well, at least financially. They ain't bother me. So why am I go fight them for? I'm still being harassed by cops wearing badges who are fucking still signs of hate. So I'm not going to war. It would be wise and behoove you not to try to draft me to the war, because I'm not fighting no other person. Return to That's How Vikander.